Hello everyone and welcome to a surprise Monday stream. My electrolysis got cancelled, so here I am doing a stream. No costume today, because again, this was a surprise to me as well, so I didn't have time to do a poll. And it's also a heat wave. It's 90 something fucking degrees. I'm hot. It's so hot. It's so hot, everyone. So I apologize for no costume today. I know it's been quite a while since I haven't worn a costume on stream. But of course this doesn't count towards the number of days of our costume year or anything. This is just, a day, you know. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor and like the stream. I'd appreciate it. If you're on Twitch, you just gotta watch and enjoy it. If you want to help support the stream, you can always become a member on YouTube or a subscriber on Twitch. Gift subs are always appreciated. It is getting close to the end of the month, and we have a little under 150 gift subs left to reach our goal. Today we're taking a look at Tinfoil. We are going to be looking at trying to find, rather, new conspiracy theorists. This is going to be pretty loose. This is going to be, by no means, like, this is not our official Tinfoil of the week. That'll probably be Wednesday, because I work a long day again tomorrow. They keep scheduling on me on Tuesdays, long days. So it might not be tomorrow unless I have sudden energy, but Wednesday will probably be our official Tinfoil day this week. But today I thought we'd just casually hang out for an hour and a half, 2 hours, look for new conspiracy theorists and chat, keep your mind off the world maybe. I know some stressful stuff happened, which we don't have to talk about today. I just, you know, I know stuff's going on, so. Bumble Homestead, thanks for 62 months, says costume is to hell with global warming. Halloween Town, thanks for a 3-stream streak, says, what a weekend, huh, chat? No kidding. Alright, so we're caught up. Cool beans, let's jump into it. If you have any suggestions for things you want me to search, feel free. I am not only open to, but would appreciate suggestions for conspiracies, either that I have or haven't covered before that you want me to search, and we'll look and see if we can find some new people to cover for Tinfoil. The first thing I was searching was Saint Germaine, because I know we've heard Saint Germaine discussed in a lot of different conspiracy videos, so I thought it would be cool to try and look at some of the videos regarding him, shall we?
On the 9th of December 1745, Horace Walpole, the Earl of Orford and son of the first Prime Minister of Great Britain, wrote a letter to a friend in Florence. In it, he detailed the drama of the ongoing Jacobite Rising, and in particular, the arrest of a man accused of being a foreign spy. The odd man, so Walpole described him, went by the name of Comte Saint-Germain, and had been in England for the past 2 years. A violinist who could play wonderfully, sing and compose, he was also, so the Earl wrote, a madman. Not very sensible and full of mystery, the man refused to tell anyone who he was or from where he had come. After all, the name to which he answered, the Count of Saint-Germain, was a pseudonym, and was rumoured to conceal a colourful past. Indeed, despite trying to figure out who he was, little could be uncovered, with all manner of whispers surrounding him. He is called...
Professor Taddy says it's a low-stakes conspiracy, but you could look at videos about how NHL Commissioner Gary Betterman is purposely stopping Canadian teams from winning the Stanley Cup because he hates Canada. Is that a thing?
An Italian, a Spaniard.
So Saint Germain was not canonized? No, Saint Germain is not an actual saint.
A Pole, a somebody that married a great fortune in Mexico and ran away with her jewels to Constantinople. A priest, a fiddler, a
Excuse you, I've been led to believe by they might be giants that it's Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Vast nobleman. Ultimately, with nothing to be made out against him, the man was released and soon after left the country. This strange letter is one of the earliest known
I'm glad that my job blessing helped, Amber, because clearly that's what did it, not the fact that y'all are competent and, you know, a likable person. Clearly it was me waving my fingers through the internet. Congrats.
To the
I take all credit, none of the blame. I accidentally jumped out of it, sorry.
An adventurer, a friend and counselor of Kate, Hunter Killer. Hunter Killer is a murder mystery subscription
This isn't
box.
really a conspiracy person. I think it's just someone who does biographies, so I need to find a more conspiratorial source. Oh, this one looks like it. As far as I know, Amber.
He was perhaps one of the greatest philosophers who ever lived. The friend of humanity, wishing for money only that he might give to the poor, a friend to animals. His heart was concerned only with the happiness of others.
He possessed a knowledge of physics and chemistry, which would have reflected undying honour on a dozen of the most eminent modern men of science.
He sings, plays the violin wonderfully, composes, is mad, and not very sensible.
The most learned man ever to have set foot in my domains was without a doubt Saint-Germain. He had an encyclopedic knowledge that amazed me every time we conversed.
He is called the Count of Saint-Germain.
So is this guy even a real guy, or is this just like a story people started making up? If he was real, was he just like a con man that was very good at speaking?
Who has been so often regarded as the myth, but who is very real and is one of those who never die.
The man who does not die.
This extraordinary man would say in an easy, assured manner that he was 300 years old, that he knew the secret of the universal medicine, that he possessed a mastery over nature.
Welcome to From the Quarries. Among the strange, mysterious beings with which the 18th century was so richly dowered, no one has commanded more universal comment and attention than the mystic who is known by the name of the Count of Saint-Germain.
That is the worst morph effect I think I've ever seen in my life. It has nothing to do with conspiracy, but full shade, that is a terrible morph effect.
A hero of romance, a charlatan, a swindler, and an adventurer. Rich and varied were the names that showered freely upon him. Hated by the many, loved and reverenced by the few.
I don't think that's AI. I think it's just a shitty transform effect, or a shitty transition transform.
Time has not...
Because, like, I could see a computer, like, editing, like a basic editing program having that as a transition between, like, images or scenes or whatever. And it just happens to be ugly as fuck.
Veil, which screened his true mission from the vulgar spectators of the period.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's presentation, From the Quarries, an archive of Masonic lore.
Oh boy. Except Rasputin had a sweet disco song written about him. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the animation of the guy either, but kind of looked like a Go Animate thing almost. Do people remember Go Animate? Is that still a thing?
The Count of Saint-Germain, a renowned figure of the Enlightenment era, occupies a central position in the annals of Western Hermeticism and the esoteric tradition. His life story, a blend of substantiated facts, conjecture, and fable, creates a tantalizing tapestry that wraps around an inscrutable core. Born into a world of burgeoning intellectual and scientific thought, Saint-Germain...
A niche conspiracy I might want to look into is the Somerton Man. Let me search that right now so I don't forget.
Enlightenment era occupies a central position.
Pause! What don't you understand? The Somerton Man. Okay. Thank you. We'll look at that after this.
Navigated the echelons of European nobility with a certain élan, leaving an indelible mark upon the courtly life of the 18th century. His manifold talents ranged from music and painting to politics and science, earning him the epithet, the Wonder Man of Europe. However, Saint-Germain's most notable contributions lie in his profound influence on Freemasonry, alchemy, and Rosicrucianism.
Can you really have a profound impact on alchemy when alchemy is like a bullshit thing? You know what I mean? I know that it's sort of a precursor to like scientific chemistry, but you know, they were trying to turn lead into gold amongst other kind of nonsensical things, so can you revolutionize a field that's foundations are horse shit?
As a Freemason...
Got any Titanic videos? I don't. That's not a bad idea. I don't know a ton about the Titanic, though, historically, so I would have a hard time debunking that. I know there used to be a person who did a really good video debunking some of the Titanic conspiracies, but unfortunately, he deleted his channel, because I think he was getting harassed or something. He also had a lot of, like, really good videos, debunking Holocaust denialists, which is important, but... it is what it is. What was tinfoily about the Titanic? Certain conspiracy theorists believe that a lot of the people on the Titanic were killed intentionally, that they were people that were opposed to the U.S. creating the Federal Reserve. There's also people who claim that the ship was already damaged and that it was like a insurance fraud thing. Some say they switched the Titanic and the Britannic for that insurance fraud thing. There's a variety of conspiracy theories about it.
It was associated with many...
Your great uncle was on the Titanic, not the whole time.
Notable figures of the...
That's... That's probably long enough. It's over 100 years. You can probably laugh about that. That's fine.
Masonic world, including Cagliostro...
Too soon!
...and the Duke of Chartres, and was rumoured to have established a Masonic rite known as the Rite of Strict Observance. Moreover, Saint-Germain is said to have shared the stage with influential Rosicrucian figures.
Again, it's all is said to have. People said. What are the sources on this? I know earlier Madame de Pompadour's name popped up. Like, are these from, like, journals that people had? Is there any sort of, like, specific area he was supposed to have been around?
His philosophy...
Is there any corroboration that he was real?
He's reflected the core tenets of the Rosicrucian tradition.
Oh, I spilled soda all over my jean shorts. Yay me. I'm doing great.
Including the belief in a universal spiritual wisdom preserved by an intellectual elite, and he is often recognized as an important figure within Rosicrucian circles. In relation to alchemy, Saint-Germain's name is synonymous with...
We looked into the purple eye thing. Do you mean the black eye thing? Like the thing when they're like, oh, the black eye club.
The art of transmutation. Alleged to have discovered the elixir of life and the philosopher's stone, he was often touted as a...
Excuse you that... Oh, no, I was about to make a reference to a childhood book series that I liked as a kid, but don't now. That's a shame. Never mind.
Master alchemist...
Strike that reference!
...who could transmute base metals into gold. Whether this was literal or symbolic alchemy, or both, remains a matter...
What the fuck does that mean? Literal or symbolic alchemy?
...of ongoing debate, but his impact on the tradition is undeniable. While the Count of Saint-Germain's birth and lineage remain contentious, certain threads within historical narratives provide a compelling starting point for investigation. Numerous accounts propose that Saint-Germain...
Full Metal Alchemist, more like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, am I right, fellow weebs?
...was born towards the close of the 17th century, with the period between 1690 and 1710 being the most frequently cited. Yet, solidifying a precise birth year, or tracing a specific lineage, remains elusive due to the Count's mysterious persona and knack for maintaining ambiguity around his origins. One of the more persuasive theories holds that Saint-Germain was the son of Francis II Rakoczki, Prince of Transylvania, potentially born to a secret marriage. This speculation is reinforced by Isabel Cooper.
Alright, this is like a dry, it's done like a biography. I need crazy conspiracy theorists. I need crazy shit. Fenigagami says, Hannah, I don't want to hear complaints about the heat wave. It's basically 100 where I am. I have to spray chemicals on people's lawns wearing loose sleeves and pants in dark colors in a truck while it is AC in a hot box that at best gets down to maybe 80 something for me. I do have plenty of water though. You can be hot and I can be hot. We can both be hot. You can be hotter, but we can both be hot. Freyline says, no, I meant Alexandria's Genesis. I have never heard of this. The purple eye thing. I've never heard of it. A lot of these seem to be stuff... See, I think people are sending me stuff that's kind of like mysterious things, too. Like, this seems like a mystery, but is it a conspiracy? Like, that's not as much a conspiracy theory as it looks like this is some sort of crime mystery. Hey, Holy Input, how's it going? Not the Tumblr purple eyes?
The man was found dead on the beach, with no ID and all labels removed from his clothes. In his pocket, police discovered a tiny scrap of paper with the words Tamam Shud, meaning finished in Persian. The torn page matched a rare book that was mysteriously found in a car parked nearby. And inside the book was a phone number and a strange code. Police embalmed him and publicized the case, but no one ever successfly identified him.
Yeah, that's not really a conspiracy thing. I'll look up the purple eye thing and see if anyone has anything about it. What was it? The purple eye... What? The purple eye thing. That's so vague.
When your president met our queen at Buckingham Palace last year, he rolled up in the Beast, a huge...
If you want something that'll piss us off, you can look at weird theories about some people have about the sea people. I heard some people say they're Atlanteans, so there's that. Holy Input, thanks for gifting us up.
Reinforced cataract built to resist bullets, missiles, even chemical attacks. There were also 200 Secret Service agents in tow, although what they got up to in the evenings is anyone's guess. Buckingham Palace can be a pretty risky venue for visiting dignitaries. Her Majesty, of course, is always perfectly charming, but Monty, Holly, and Willow are a law unto themselves. These three little corgi dogs may not look threatening, but they tend to chase people and then bite them. Now, 5 years ago, the Queen herself was spotted with a bandaged wrist after intervening to break up a canine squabble. The wound to the royal hand required 3 stitches. Corgis, of course, were originally bred to help round up cattle, so they usually go for your ankles. And when you see pictures of famous people with their heads bowed down in front of the Queen, they are probably on the lookout for those dogs. But you're thinking, why doesn't she simply lock them up when she's entertaining you? You don't know our Queen. She's had corgis for years.
Is this just him? The title of this is Members of the Royal Household. Oh, aren't all human. Dogs. Dogs. Okay, I'm just going for a classic. Let's look up reptilians, because we're finding bubkiss so far, and this is already going to be a shorter stream. Wow, they're just shoving... Why is Trump news stuff coming up when you Google reptilians? That's bizarre. Is Rumble's search just completely fucking busted right now? That's weird. Why? Okay. Alexandria's Genesis. Mutation known as Alexandria's Genesis turns people into perfect human beings who exhibit purple eyes 6 months after birth. Okay, I've never heard about this. I know this is the purple eye thing. I didn't understand what people were talking about before. Rumors about the existence of a rare genetic mutation known as Alexandria's Genesis have been circulating in internet circles since as far back as 2005. The most common form of this rumor states Alexandria's Genesis is a mutation that turns people into perfect human beings. What does that even mean? A condition apparently marked by purple eyes, extremely fair skin. Wow, isn't it crazy that perfect human beings always have light skin in these people's eyes? I wonder why. That does not get sunburned. All of the benefits of melanin with none of the melanin. Dark brown scalp hair, but no body hair. The lack of a menstrual cycle, which does not affect the ability to bear children. Strong immune systems. Well-proportioned bodies that never gain weight, but extrude very little waste. Oh, that's good. I was worried about how much they pooped. The uncanny ability to always look 5 to 10 years younger than one's true age, and a lifespan of about 150 years. Yeah, this seems legitimate. Ashley One Up, thanks for 32 months, says, here's to 32 months and to many more. Thank you very much. Almost on a hype train. There's a picture that pops up on my Twitter every once in a while that explains a mutation supposedly known as Alexandria's Genesis. Supposedly this is 6 months after whoever has the mutation is born, their eyes turn purple. They also don't grow any type of body hair. That's like not even a good Photoshop job on the purple eye. Ugh. Altered Undying says, sorry you're having problem finding stuff. Here's another sludge lad type vampire for you. His name is Rufus, and he was inspired by an entry in Black's Law Dictionary you read. He looks a little bit like Two-Face. He looks kind of like Two-Face. Despite some of the contradictory characteristics attributed to these perfect human beings, many people have asserted that Alexandria's Genesis mutation is indeed real. What? Alexandria's Genesis' mutation, unlike so many other Sorry, I'm having trouble reading today, too. What's going on with my goddamn brain? 65% to level 1 in a hype train. Alexandria's Genesis is a genetic mutation that, unlike so many others, produces a very good effect for the human being involved. The characteristics of those born with the mutation make them perfect human beings with little or no biological disturbances. The first recorded case of Alexandria's Genesis was a woman named Alexandria Augustine, of course Augustine, in 1329 London. Ah, yes, when they... they kept track of... Yep. Her parents, upon realizing her most distinct feature, the purple eyes, decided she must be possessed and take her to a priest to have her exorcised. Luckily, the priest had heard of the mutation before. Ah, yes, many priests in 1329 were very scientifically minded and knew about not only genetic inheritance, but specifically mutations. Sorry, I must have pinned that somehow. Mr. Blast, thanks for gifting a sub. According to legend, after a flash of light over Egypt some odd thousands of years ago, the people with purple eyes and very fair skin had apparently only to appear north and were lost till Alexandria showed up. So I assume that's supposed to be like implications of aliens or something. Peep Lord with 40 bits says Trump comes up in a lizard person search because of Stephen Miller. And Altered Undying says, I think Strange Aeons tracked this back to a fan fiction. I forget what kind. That's hilarious. That makes too much sense, honestly. It does have that vibe. My brain is dehydrated. That might actually be the case. It's been in the 90s. It's very, very hot. And our central air is broken. The first recorded case of Alexandria's Genesis did not occur in London 1329. Instead, it was noted in a piece of Daria fan fiction. La 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 la. I fucking love Daria. I love Daria. Not a huge fan of fan fiction, but, you know. Written by Cameron Aubernon in 1998. Well, the original website that hosted this fantastical piece of fiction no longer exists. It's been archived by Outpost Daria Reborn, and the original author has also written about the mythical origins of the mutation on Tumblr. Moira Soma, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs and getting us another level up on the hype train. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate the gift subs, especially here in the last little bit of the month when we're trying to get towards our goal. Thank you. A conspiracy that starts with a Daria fan fiction. That's a little sad. That's a little sad. Am I wrong? Why are all conspiracies, I swear, there's so many that are literally just AI slop now, and I know it's the whole internet, but it's gotten so insufferable. It is a sick, sad world. Welcome back to Sick, Sad World. That's the alternative title of my show, is Sick, Sad World. Stolen directly from Daria. This is all about invoking the Reptilian Antichrist.
Hello,
it's the name of this video.
It's Kinetigan. Yeah, please share, like, subscribe. If you can support the channel, I would appreciate it. We're about to go into like a major heat wave in Philadelphia. Me and my cats don't mind the heat. It's the humidity, and it's getting bad. So any donations would help. I get
well, this is depressing. I'm not gonna kick someone while they're fucking down, even if they're a crackpot. I'll move on from that. That feels bad. The Cryptid Huntress is kind of interesting, but she tends to do really long streams.
Is like, suddenly someone's eyes turn reptilian, but I have also met another.
As happens. Peoplord says, found some content. No, we cannot just watch a thing from Whitest Kids You Know, and it's not conspiracy.
Number of people in this world who have embodied those beings and those energies on such a level that it shows in their face and in their body. And anyway, I could get into a few stories on that if you want, but yeah, it's a literally real thing. And anyway, yeah, watch out because I'll talk forever.
No, it is. No, I love that. Listen, that's all I do is talk, Matthew. Okay, so I can really appreciate that because we do talk about like the screen memories and things that can be that we see like when we have like an abduction experience or something like that, or if you just I've had up close and personal contact with ETs before, at least twice that I can remember, and a lot of people will have a contact with ETs and they remember seeing like a deer, an owl, something else happen, like wake up and there's clowns in my room, like dolls. And
this just sounds like again, I know I've already talked about the fact that like abduction experiences are probably sleep paralysis. Having further visions of like animals or clowns in your room, that again sounds like a sleep paralysis nightmare. You're literally describing a weird sleep paralysis nightmare. I don't get people. Mr. Duck Sauce, thanks for a 7-stream streak, says literally real thing is not a structure I would ever believe. 36% to level 3 with about a minute left on the hype train.
Those were dolls, of course, but what if they weren't at some point? I know that sounds kind of odd and weird, but
what if these dolls that are dolls weren't dolls? That'd be fucked up. Checkmate. Child's play. We did it.
I think that's very authentic. The higher self will allow us to visually perceive things through the lens at which we are able, meaning that it's like if you have no concept or no ability to really like perceive or understand those things, in some cases they'll show up as strange little elves. I was deeply connected to a person years ago.
The last time I saw elves, I was on hallucinogenic drugs. Peoplord says, at least play the clip I sent, the 2-minute mark. No, I can't play it. I told you.
Who I knew was having some kind of...
Hummel Homestead, thanks for gifting a sub. I can play like 5 seconds at the 2-minute mark, but I can't beyond that.
Mr. President, yeah, those bears appear to have guns and motorcycles.
We believe they may be involved in some sort of intergalactic drug cartel.
There you go. Nemesaur, holy shit, thanks for gifting 20 tier 1 subs.
Out-of-body experiences.
Jesus Christ, you're always generous. Thank you, Nemesaur.
And, if you want to call them abductions and whatnot. And they were like, but they're not aliens. They're these little elves that come in my room. And I'm like,
oh,
maybe it's also some elf beings. But I think that's a thing that's been referenced widely over the years, for those of us that have studied and like been immersed in these areas of, whatever's been going on. It's very common. They'll show up in a number of different forms.
Oh yeah, Matthew. So Saturday night, I had my buddy named Trebles came on the show, and he's got a podcast called Paranoid Radio, and he came on to talk about his.
All right, enough of the cryptid huntress. I need better reptilian content that's not AI.
You cannot grow with a...
No, they're talking about reptilians metaphorically, at least I think. Were they machine elves? Yes, weirdly. They were in my phone. What about this, Hannah? Let me see what it is. Drowned God, Conspiracy of the Ages. Okay. I'm interested. You have my interest. Oh, this was a CD-ROM game. Okay. Okay. Someone's named Harry Horse. What is...
The game is about an alternative interpretation of the history of mankind.
The whole mystery of Drowned God is based on...
Oh, is this just a game thing? Why are you fucking people sending me shit that isn't conspiracy shit?
Atlantis and the position of these star constellations that form the same constellation as the Giza pyramids.
Because they're not saying it's real, it's a video game. Do you guys understand what my show is?
It's a puzzle game.
God damn it. Okay, no more recommendations from chat, because everyone's sending me shit that's completely unrelated to what the stream is supposed to be about. So no more... No more chat recommendations, it's been ruined.
From beyond our dimension, this is the Jeff Mara Podcast. Here's Jeff.
My guest is Talia, who claims to be a reptilian contactee, which we're going to learn about and more.
See? This is quality content.
Talia, thanks for joining me and welcome.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm happy to be here.
Talia, how did all this contact start from you?
A good place for me to start would
Welcome
be
to the Jeff...
to express that I have...
Sorry, I'm saving this person because this is already great. And this is why I'm the host of the show and you're the viewers.
A very active dream life, a lot of astral traveling, a lot of lucid dreams. That has been something that I've experienced through the entirety of my life. It was more active when I was a younger child, which I think is quite common. And then as I got older, I wasn't interested in my dream life, even though I was still experiencing a lot of lucid dreams, a lot of astral traveling. I just wanted to be here in this world. And so I put that aside for quite some time. And in the last, I would say 8 years, I have...
The title of this, by the way, is She Fell in Love with a Reptilian. So I'm pretty excited for that. Minute left in the hype train. Altered Undying says, you don't understand how much of our stuff show up the majestic... Wait. You don't understand how much of our stuff shows up the majestic 12er in the game. It doesn't matter. It's not... It's fictional. They're saying it's fictional, so it doesn't count. Peeplord says, been gone a while. I took up magic. I have a conspiracy vid for you, but in a QR code I printed on a playing card. Think of the card. Now check your pocket. No, not pocket. Your flesh pocket. God damn it. Benikagami says, sorry to hear about your central air, Hannah. Drink water, please. I know when I'm overheated and dehydrated, I start to malfunction mentally. Also, what about the woke agenda in video games? That's kind of a conspiracy, especially with their obsession with BlackRock and Sweet Baby Inc. That's too close to chuds. That's just chud shit. And a lot of right-wing political stuff is conspiratorial, but, like, that's not what I'm talking about.
paying a lot more attention to
Thank you for that incredible hype train, everyone. Thank you for all your generosity. I really appreciate it.
Is going on in other areas of my life. And by that, I mean just different levels of consciousness. When I am astral traveling or lucid dreaming, or when I am meditating.
Ma'am, you said lucid dreaming. It's a dream. It's in your head. It's imagination. It's not real.
Even when I'm fully rooted here in this realm, having experiences when I am just going throughout my day, that's when I started to really notice that something more was going on. So when I was being contacted, when I just after a shower or just after dinner, when I wasn't meditating,
Isn't it just like the reptilians to call right after dinner?
And I was just going about my day-to-day life, I started noticing that I would feel a presence, and this presence that I would feel, it wasn't scary in any way. And it wasn't outside of me. It actually came from inside of me. And a big sign for me that this was happening, because I noticed this the very first time, was that I was in a t-shirt and I touched my skin, and I couldn't believe how soft my skin felt. Yeah, almost like
the reptilians made your skin softer? Apparently I need to get on this regimen.
Like my hand was melting into milk. And I realized that
were you on drugs? Because that sounds like a drug thing. Like, that sounds like you were on hallucinogenic drugs where your proprioception's kind of weird and parts of your body feel like they're in other parts of your body, or like connected in weird ways, or the wrong size.
It wasn't me touching my
nice, Amber Pretzels. Good luck with your interview.
Skin. It was actually another being that I don't.
Brian Cooper with the super chat says aliens contact her. Greetings, Earthling. We come in peace and are trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
I don't think saying that it came into my body is accurate. It was more like it meshed with me. And then it used my hand to touch my skin. And immediately when that happened, I was shown an image in my mind of this being. And again, it wasn't scary. Nothing about it was scary. So that was the first time that I feel that I was open to it.
This is a great place to stop you for a moment. So if we go back to your life, you've had this history of lucid dreaming and astral traveling. Did you know that that was astral traveling and lucid dreaming, or did you just think you had an active imagination?
I didn't know what it was. And to be perfectly clear, in my childhood, I was always trying to escape it because I was seeing a lot of scary things in my dream life as a child.
Well, this makes me sad, too.
Let's say after.
Now I almost want the fucking CGI bullshit. Here. This is probably CGI bullshit. Oh. How much did someone spend to make 9 seconds of that fucking reptilian video? I don't understand, people.
Hello, friends of the truth. Reptilians, native to Earth and the dinosaurs. Some people get confused when it comes to the origin of the reptilians.
Dinosaurs aren't reptiles.
Of course, this is a fairly common sticking point for those searching for the truth, because there are multiple reptilian, humanoid species in our universe. The biggest gap in consciousness for many is understanding that not all the reptilians came from another planet, a craft, or another universe.
So if people believe there's multiple kinds of reptilians, but their big issue for believing it is that they came from Earth? I don't think that's true. I think if you're on the reptilian thing, you're willing to believe just about anything about the reptilians.
Some reptilians are actually native to the Earth, and that's what I'm going to talk about today.
The Silurians.
Before we look deeper into the native reptilians' involvement in the grand experiment, I want to clarify one thing. It is the reptilian consciousness that has stopped us from evolving quicker than we would like.
Don't worry, people. It's not that human beings are complicated animals that often work against ourselves for selfish reasons, for nationalism or tribalism or just good old-fashioned narcissism. No, don't worry. It's just evil reptoids. We're not flawed beings that get in our own way. We're being attacked by reptilians! Roar! Life isn't complicated and scary. Don't worry, it's simple and scary. Roar!
This reptilian part of consciousness holds ignorance.
Dinosaurs are part of the reptile clade. You're a clade!
Stubbornness, not willing to accommodate any other perspectives. So whilst
why am I stopping you from evolving? You'll be too powerful, and more importantly, you won't find my show entertaining anymore.
For many, this video may be fascinating and really help connect the dots together. I am presenting a version of the truth, which may not encompass the entire truth. We are on a journey of constant learning. Just opening
Am I familiar with the Polybius conspiracy? I'm familiar with the Polybius folklore, urban legend. It's more of an urban legend than a conspiracy. It's an urban legend about a conspiracy. I'm familiar.
Yourself up to other.
I've never met someone on the internet who really believes the Polybius thing. I'm sure they exist, but I think it's pretty rare.
Views drastically accelerates your spiritual progression towards 5D. Modern man has only opened itself up to the validity of quantum physics in less than a century ago, taking Newtonian physics for the be-all.
Wait, why does the voice have an accent suddenly? Am I crazy? Did the voice just develop an accent?
And end all, up until now. It was monotheism, created by the reptilian consciousness through Catholicism.
What the fuck happened to the voice? That's so weird. I've never heard an AI voice do that before. Freyline says there's so much woo if you look up star seeds. That's definitely true.
The Catholic Church, the purposely separated.
We can look up star seeds. We're bouncing all around today. This is the ADHD stream. Sorry if you got a normal brain.
Conscious state, and ensure this human about the suffering of spiritual need.
Wow, that jump ahead jumped way too far ahead.
Experience breaking down become both. The term starseed has become both popular and infamous within the spirit of this age. So today I'm going to be breaking down exactly what a starseed is to see if we can bring some dignity back into this term and destupefy it. The term starseeds is the modern name for what was known in antiquity as angels. They are
self-aggrandizing much? I'm actually the inspiration for angels. That's how good I am, guys. I'm so good.
Residents of higher dimensions that specifically incarnated into a human physical experience with the intention to help raise the collective consciousness of humanity.
That's not even what angels are in mythology. What are you talking about?
Identify with the term starseed are not immune to the human experience in any way. They still have their own trials and tribulations, their own life challenges, along with their own karma and healing journey that needs to be completed, as well as unique overarching themes that are specific for their own spiritual growth and spiritual journey. There are so many here at this time that it truly is not even a special club. All one would need to do to be able to identify whether or not they feel like they are a starseed is to look within and examine whether they feel a very strong mission.
No human being in the history of the world has ever felt that they had a strong mission or a reason to be here. only special, super special, alien, gened, angel children feel like they have a purpose. Did you know that?
A very strong purpose towards being able to help heal the Earth as well as raise the collective consciousness. Essentially, if you truly care about the suffering here, chances are you're a starseed, because
if you have basic human empathy, you're an alien, baby. Okay, I don't know about that.
The number one way that you can recognize a starseed is they're very attuned to the level of pain that's inherent within this human experience, as well as the hypnotic forces that are overseeing and ensuring that humanity stays in a disempowered and unconscious state. Otherwise, starseeds can sense that something ain't right. Starseeds have gone by many
So they're paranoid narcissists. Got it.
names in past ages and even in this age. But as we evolve and our perception matures, more information unfolds into a large...
You happened upon the bad wolf yesterday. Have you seen his Sovsit stuff? Is he the guy? Yeah, I think so, because he's got a bunch of wolf-themed stuff. He's like a furry. He sits at his desk, and I'm pretty sure I've covered him before.
Larger context. Of course, there would be other variants of consciousness and other realms a being would inhabit other than strictly the third-dimensional Earth school. In fact, it is quite egotistical to believe that humans are all that exist in this multiverse.
Sure, I would agree that there's probably life out there other than human life. Would it be intelligent life? I don't know. I don't know. But certainly there's other life out there somewhere. Will we ever make contact with it? Probably not. Stuff's very, 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 very far away, and we're very, very, very tiny. I would say what's more narcissistic is thinking that you are a super special alien baby grown up to do some sort of secret mission on the Earth like the fucking 4400. Anyone seen that show? Am I the only one who remembers the 4400? It's kind of what they think. Like, aliens took them and they messed with them, so they're gonna save the world.
Even though the concept of starseeds can definitely be used to manipulate the human ego into a false sense of superiority, in reality, starseeds are simply souls who have incarnated into the Earth life system from other dimensions in order to assist humanity's future timelines. Specifically, they are here to assist in awakening humanity out of the draconian future timelines that are represented by the military-industrial complex, poverty consciousness, and trauma-based mind control.
Poverty consciousness, guys. Don't worry, we don't have material needs. We're just in poverty consciousness. Certainly changing our mind frame will help our material means.
The draconian
I'm tired.
Timelines lead the human race to a future of authoritarianism, much like what was foreshadowed.
Just do that. Go up to someone panhandling and be like, oh, if you consider you're in a poverty mindset, you fucking asshole.
Shadowed in the classic 1984. However, there is a huge twist in the way that this is achieved. It is achieved under the guise of love. The draconian timelines have understood the only way they will be able to gain the free will of humans to create their own captivity is through the guise of love. A false love from a false light that slowly enslaves the human race by making them believe that it is there to protect them. And so starseeds are here to share all of their many different gifts with humanity so that we align with future timelines where we spiritually evolve and access our power as Source incarnate. The biggest issue when it comes to this subject is that the term starseeds inherently implies that humans aren't of the stars or don't have celestial origins, when that's not the case. Humans are a microcosm of the entire universe. However, to be fully identified as...
Of course we are. We have to be. Humans have to be the main characters of the multiverse. Don't you know that? Haven't you ever read a comic book before?
Solely a human, and only relating and resonating with all of the existence through a human identity is such a low consciousness state that what's really going on is the fact that the human form is in a state of spiritual amnesia, where they have disconnected from the higher aspects of their own energy field and their totality of their soul. More to the point, what we refer to as an average human are souls that have only had incarnations in the Earth life system. Because of this, they are called Earth souls. Earth's souls still contain all of the information in the cosmos within their energetic template, but it is not accessed. If they were to begin to activate it, they could easily...
Ma'am, a lot of the time I forget what day of the week it is. I don't have infinite cosmic knowledge inside of me. It's mostly shit about movies and cheeses.
Shift into new timelines where all of a sudden they have these future outcomes that suddenly exist, where they've had several lifetimes off planet or in other star systems. The reason this would manifest instantly once an Earth soul activates the potential held in their energetic blueprint is because time is an illusion. All there really is feedback loops. And so what starseeds are in relationship to what humans are is beings who have incarnated into the earthly realm and into a human experience so that they do not violate free will. If a resident from a higher plane of consciousness or a higher density truly wishes to be of service to their brother...
Why would they give a fuck about free will in this context? Like, I understand why humans would care about free will, because it's a thing we tend to care about, more or less. But, like, why does this alien, not even alien, extra-dimensional species that clearly wants to influence humanity, why do they have, like, a prime directive? Like, as far as you guys are concerned, it's all souls being reincarnated anyway, and they're all destined to be reincarnated an infinite number of times onto other planets eventually. So, like, why do you care? It doesn't make any sense.
Brothers and sisters, then they're already aware that they cannot stunt that being's development. And they would interfere with that being's evolutionary process and their growth by violating their free will by simply appearing to them. That's what negative forces do. They manipulate through all sorts of ways.
Giving someone information is never taking away their free will. It is always expanding it. Showing up and being like, hey, we have some information that you don't have, is never taking away anyone's free will. That'd be like saying in, what's that problem called? The game show problem. The Monty Hall problem, I think. Imagine if an alien came down and said, it's behind door number 3! Does that mean you no longer have free will to choose door numbers 2 or 1? No, you just know the answer now. You still have free will, you just have more information.
That have to do with violating a being's free will. But to truly be of service, those residents would incarnate as a human and then influence beings or humanity at large through the human vessel, through the human experience, because then you're not violating a being's free will. And so by doing so, that's what true love is all about. It's knowing that you can't just appear from anywhere and then be able to have people who are not ready for that reality or who are not at a mature level consciously to be able to accept that fully on their own and by their own right if you were to just go ahead and interfere with their own process. So that in and of itself is not honoring a being's maturity. It's not honoring their own journey, their own development, and it's not honoring, therefore, their own free will. So what starseeds do is they come into this experience, and by doing so, they go through the veil of forgetting. And when you go through the veil of forgetfulness, you are by no means superior at all to a human experience. You are human for all intents and purposes.
It's almost like you just are a human being. Wouldn't that be a nightmare? I like that they're just in denial about being a person. I get it, being a person kind of fucking blows, but like, there are worse things to be, you know? Could have been an ant. Glad I'm not an ant.
But what you have is...
Bittergrin says they're just honoring kids with cancer by not saving them.
A very strong desire, a very strong mission towards helping humanity. And that's really your only guiding light. They incarnate into the Earth life system over lifetimes, playing out both the predator end of the spectrum and the victim end of the spectrum. To fully understand the system...
Oh, I hate this belief. This belief is horrifying. It literally implies that anyone can do anything, there are no consequences, nothing is real, it's all a play. Like, no, suffering is real. People's lives are finite, so the suffering inflicted on them is finite. It takes up a portion of the life that they have. That is the only one they have. It's not a play. It's not a trial run. It's not a test. This is it. This is all we have. So every time we abide suffering, we are lessening the overall human experience. Ask not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. Please give a shit about the suffering of others. It's not a game.
System that's in place here, so that they can best trigger people out of the hypnotic state that is taking place on Earth. Each star...
She has zero evidence for any of her claims. The evidence is it makes her feel good. It feels so good. It feels so right, though.
Our origins contains their own abilities, traits, and characteristics. They are a strongly developed facet of the all, with the largest celestial presence here being Pleiadian. Pleiadians are known for their charisma, ability to teach, and their emotional intelligence, while Syrians are known for being the Renaissance man, both masters in the arts and sciences.
Schizoa, thanks for 49 months, says,
Both sensitive yet stoic, both creative and technologically innovative.
Feels like one of these was more like feminine coded and one was more male coded, very intentionally, so that you can have women claiming to be more empathetic starseeds and then like dude bros who are gonna be like, I'm a fucking genius, I'm Michelangelo, I'm Leonardo da Vinci, but with an alien dick. Alted Undying says, you need to know I thought she was saying Canadians.
The list of starseed origins and their respective traits goes on. The only common thread each starseed group shares...
What's that dance? What was that?
Respective traits goes on. The only common thread each starseed group shares is that they can be considered both profoundly sensitive and eccentric. And of course they would be perceived as eccentric. They're effing aliens, why wouldn't they be? We care deeply for animal rights, the suffering of all beings, as well as infusing new, empowering thought forms into the human collective. We can positively influence humanity only by being a part of humanity. This is the way with the most integrity to the Earth soul's own growth. By the time we've incurred so much karma, from lifetime after lifetime being in the human form, it's pretty much like the blind leading the blind. Only with starseeds, there's a strong remembrance that gets activated. And this...
What are you talking about? You went through for the forgetting veil or whatever you called it.
Strong remembrance connects them with their higher knowing. So that higher knowing will show up in whatever psychic capacities or gifts is their strongest. But this higher knowing is also what eventually allows them to break out of their current conditioning, as well as the programming that was imprinted upon them. So starseeds have a relatively easy...
Yeah, you've told me that, Amber. That would annoy the shit out of me. I'd yell at those people. I know y'all don't feel like doing that. I would. I'd be like, no, you fucking idiot. I'm maybe a little more blunt than most people. I'm not very good with interpersonal communication. Have I mentioned that?
Easier time than most people when it comes to deprogramming themselves. So what's really typical is that a starseed will choose a specific lifetime to activate their remembrance. And the lifetimes before that activation occurs, their true identity is held in a dormant state from them, while they're incurring human experiences and while they're incurring information and data. Once they have chosen a certain lifetime to activate their remembrance, they set up certain triggers within that lifetime. And at these different triggers, they're being triggered into a deeper awakening of why they came there and what their mission is. Some of our missions are meant to be spiritual warriors. Some are meant to be grid workers. Some are meant to be spiritual healers or sages.
A grid worker is what that one lady who was into the Arthurian legend, she talks about portals and like sealing portals. That's what she thinks she is.
And some are meant to be a catalyst and way shower in some capacity.
Orion with a $2 super chat says, I'm hitting that forgetting veil blazes up.
So we all are drawn and compelled to whatever region that we feel our strong suits and our skills are most needed. A very common misconception is when a being believes that they are only from one starseed lineage. And that's because when we come into this life, we come in with one ratio that's dominant and one that's mainly activated. But through
like the Morphin grid, too much pink energy is dangerous.
our own journey, we start activating more and more ratios. So we're actually not one dominant lineage, even though we choose and reside and resonate with one dominant lineage. The reason why we come in resonating with one dominant lineage at first is because the skill sets and the gifts from that lineage are the ones that are going to be the most relevant for our mission and our journey. But as we go along our own path, what unfolds and what gets activated is the ratios from all of our lineages. So as we grow and as we mature, we start embodying and activating the gifts from all of the different celestial origins that we encompass. So with higher dimensional, angelic-like beings, known as starseeds, being the stewards of humanity, naturally this entire paradigm got hijacked. And that's what we have seen within the recent
What do you mean naturally?
years when it comes to the starseed paradigm.
Oh, Jesus. Is this sectarian conflict within the fucking starseed community? Is she gonna be like, no, there are these other starseed people who are evil? Sectarian violence! We did it! Fennikagami says, to be fair, having basic human empathy does make me feel like I'm a different species than some other humans these days. Yeah. Yeah.
There has been a huge targeted
Congrats on not being a part of a cult. Keep it up.
co-opt to specifically dumb down this entire concept, as well as the people who consider themselves starseeds. It has been distorted and distorted and distorted, and infused with so much controlled oppositional tactics and counterintelligence that this entire paradigm has become stupefied. This whole concept, along with several of the starseeds themselves, have been successfully targeted and co-opted until their frequency has lowered and lowered until it's been reduced into nothing better than raccoon talk. They sound absolutely crazy at this point, and it's
They sound absolutely crazy. Have you heard these other nutballs? You wouldn't even believe it.
the more we become aware.
I gotta save this lady's channel. The Alchemist is the name of this channel, if you care. Oh god, she has 368,000 subscribers! Oh, we're cooked.
It's because there has been a polarization that's occurred, where there are polarized into the very system that they were meant to come here and to break humanity out of. So they got caught into the polarization control.
She's an expert on sounding crazy, it's true.
Opposition tactics that have now created fundamentalism within them, whether it's fundamentalism in one direction or fundamentalism in another direction. They're stuck in a lowered frequency now from the very system that they came here to help humanity transcend. So as you can tell, the biggest pitfall to a starseed is falling into the matrix that they meant to awaken humanity out of and getting caught in it themselves. In fact, the entire starseed paradigm has been intentionally infused with elaborate maps and elaborate off-planet groups, specifically designed to groom the starseed's mind back into the matrix.
What?
And so what we see today is also an organic and a synthetic awakening that's happening. One where there's, once again, social engineering through elaborate prophecy and elaborate times tables, through off-planet groups, through different
Good
maps.
news, I just got my letter of support from my therapist for my fucking orchiectomy. That means I can send it to the surgeon and schedule a date. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Maps we're using.
Alright, there's my celebration, I did it.
All through different concepts that have truth to it, such as starseeds, but are used in a way where it's being led down incrementally a false light path, as well as an organic evolution of consciousness, which is also being stewarded by higher dimensional beings in human form. So we got a lot going on. It's also very common for us to believe that starseeds are here for strictly benevolent and selfless reasons, when in reality, what we have
What's that? They're going to be removing my testicles. They're going to be removing my balls.
Found is that along our own,
which is great because I won't have to take Spiro anymore, and I don't know, if the government tries to do anything goddamn stupid, I won't have testosterone in my system, so that's nice.
evolutionary journey, we can only progress so far. We can only evolve so far until we hit a proverbial wall, so to speak. And this proverbial wall is that we are all one in essence. And so because we are all one, our own journeys, our own evolutionary pathways are actually intertwined and interconnected inextricably with the human race. And so because of that, we act as stewards for
darling Dr. Lambchop, congrats, exclamation point, not question mark.
The human race in order for our own progression.
Ryan Cooper says an orchiectomy takes a lot of balls, congrats. Funny.
And our own evolution. Now, this doesn't mean that we don't care or that compassion is absent without motive. Not at all. But what it does mean is that y'all are being bad vibes. Stop being bad vibes. You're holding us up. I hope this has
Stop being bad vibes.
Activated your remembrance. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for higher dimensional guide.
All right, well, that's good. I added her to the list of tinfoil people, so there we go. We got one. We at least got one. Are there any other starseed people we need to look into? Let's see.
Have you ever had the feeling that there's more to
AI. That's her again.
In 2010, I came across a word.
Bubble Homestead with 100 bits says, it's because I follow trans women. I nearly died of laughter when my dad asked why girls are named Rose and Lily, but not Orchid.
That would have a really significant impact on my life, bigger than any other prior.
Did she say we're fudding? Yeah, if we just stop doubting, then clearly they would save the universe. We're such losers.
Or since, and
oh fuck, Tinfoil Tryouts is such a better title for this. Fuck. Why am I so bad at my job?
I was really forever changed, and that word was starseed. The word starseed is most commonly used to describe souls who have experienced something in some place other than life on this planet. So,
Green guy with a $3 tip says, I'm trying to get my lymphoma attached to the burn pits. Wait, what? I am trying to get my lymphoma attached to the burn pits when I was in Afghanistan, but I guess showing proof that I was deployed there isn't enough. I guess I need a picture of my superior officer holding my head in black smoke as proof. Depressing. Woof. I'm really sorry.
Souls who have...
I hope that they're able to get documentation and stuff, or at least, because, like, I find it disgusting that they need you to justify that. I'm really, really fucking sorry. That
not
sucks
only
ass. That's completely not fucking fair.
Incarnated on Earth, but have...
Benekagami says, I'm really sick and tired of these ideologies that sort people into better and lower humans, and their criteria for that isn't like cruelty, but stupidity. In other words, do you agree with them? Yeah, it's not great.
Also had experiences in other places. I resonate with this interpretation of the word starseed, and
government's fucked up.
I'm still also feeling into the deep, deep mystery and questions that lay within it. I'm Rebecca Campbell, I'm a mystic, and I am the author of Letters to a Starseed.
It's too shiny, lady. You can't read it. You can't... Oh, now I'm curious. Hold on. This is shiny. Does this read on camera? Woo! Okay, not as shiny as her thing.
And also the Starseed Oracle, which I co-created with Danielle Knoll. So a starseed is someone who knows that they are a multi-dimensional being and that there is more to life than we see on Earth. A multi-dimensional being is someone who knows that they are made up of more than just a...
I really don't understand the people who are like, there's more to life than this on Earth. It's like, I mean, there's more to the universe than what's on Earth. Not a lot that's, like, personally interesting on a human level to us. Like, I find space is interesting from, like, a scientific point of view, but practically speaking, it's a lot of empty, dark space, you know? All the stuff that's, like, fun for humans is here, because we evolved here, man.
mind and a body. Some people come in with this knowing. This seed of remembering within them is already active, whereas others awaken to it. I believe that many starseeds have heard...
Does anyone believe in starseeds who does not consider themselves a starseed? Some parents who have kids, usually kids who are autistic or ADHD, sometimes hold these beliefs because they want to think their kid is like an alien instead of recognizing they're neurodivergent.
the call to play their part in this great awakening dance of life, and have chose to be here at this time in history, in this body, on this planet, in their ancestral
I thought
life.
that was indigo children, same thing. Indigo children, starseeds, same thing. Hydrate, will do.
That the seed within them has already been activated. And so the question is, what can we do with this seed planted within us? Some believe that starseeds are souls who answered a call to be here at this pivotal time in history. There is no denying that right now, as a planet, we are navigating a global dark night crisis and a possible invitation for a whole new evolution for humanity. The majority of people are being really startled from their slumber to find themselves right in the middle of the birth canal, somewhere between death and a possible planetary rebirth. The awakening process isn't easy at the best of times, and right now, with the world the way it is, with all of the polarization and all of the harm that humanity...
It's always so interesting to me when people use terms, especially when it's kind of trying to be like apolitical like this, where it's like things are so divided, and they're always very vague about the division. You ever notice that? They're always like, we're so divided. Like, what are we divided on? You're making it sound like it's like an equal thing where everyone is equally responsible for this division. You ever notice that? Like, have you considered that there are certain aspects of people in society that are like craving authoritarianism, and that's on them? I don't know. It's not really related to this, but it's just frustrating when I hear that kind of language. We're so divided. Like, I mean, yeah, but like, it's not like a mutual thing.
has done to the earth, to each other. It's not easy to wake up. It's clear that living unconsciously and in a way where we separate ourselves from nature and each other, it's no longer an option that's sustainable. The Great Mother herself is urging us urgently to heed her call.
Urging us urgently.
For it's too late for us, not for her. And she's been calling for some time, but it's becoming clear that in order for us to return to her arms and navigate our way through this tumultuous time in human history, we really must find a way to come together.
I find it a little sad that you think those are the only two options, D. Walker. You don't have to see yourself as a defect to not see yourself as an alien child. You're not a defect, you're just different. Like, that's okay. It comes with struggles, it comes with issues. I'm not saying it doesn't, but you don't have to consider yourself, like, by definition, to be wrong. I don't think that's very healthy, but you don't have to overcorrect either into thinking you're this, like, all-special indigo child starseed whatever. You can just be a person with your own difficulties, and that's okay. That's okay. It's not a moral failing on anyone's part.
And mend what's been severed. We must remember who we are, why we came, and truly commit to being here. I believe that all souls who are here on Earth right now chose on some level to be here. I also believe that some of those souls came here as a kind of birthing team, a group of souls who chose to take on the challenge of these awakening times, to support humanity in remembering.
Don't apologize, D. Walker. I just want to, I hope that you know that there's more than that dichotomy, is all I'm saying. You know? You don't have to be afraid of self-aggrandizing yourself, you know, or whatever. Certainly don't denigrate yourself, but like you don't have to take an extreme, is all I'm saying. I'm just worried about you, you know? That makes me sad to hear you say that. And, you know, I just hope you're okay.
Remembering who we are, activating who we are, and healing who we are, to support us in coming back home to each other and the planet, to truly return to love. And it's important to realize that
I don't even think just, like, needed. I think she's one of the people that thinks they wanted to. Like, who was that Carlin person some years ago that said that? Yeah, there are some people that think everyone chose their path before they came to Earth, and therefore every victim of, like, genocide chose it. It's very fucked up.
That love isn't possible without being with what actually is. Just as oneness isn't possible without us acknowledging the severing that has occurred over and over and over again. I believe that if you are here in this body that you find yourself in this city that you find yourself in your ancestral line that you find yourself in this time that you find yourself in, it is no random fluke.
She talks kind of like an MLM lady, in a way that I find boring. Clear signs you're a starseed, indigo, or
Have you ever
crystal child? What's a crystal child?
wondered if there's more to your existence than meets the eye? In the vast
AI slop, it's everywhere. AI slop, it's even in your hair. AI slop, it'll never go away. AI slop, it's here to stay. Anyway.
Rodney Clough was born and raised in the American Mormon colony.
There's no visual element to that one. I want some Hollow Earth stuff. Was that the theme for the A-Team? No, that's dun 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 dun. Just a peach with $1 tip says, according to a lot of them, we're divided and not political until they have you on the hook and funnel you into the shit they know, whatever that is, i.e. far right or turf stuff. Ba-da-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. Ba-da-da-da. Is this going to be AI?
In the fading twilight of scientific orthodoxy, where the boundaries of belief and empiricism tremble, a journey was nearly taken. Not through time, not through space, but inward toward the heart of our planet.
I mean, that's traveling through space, kind of.
Agnew,
not outer space, but it is traversing space.
A man of equations and engines, a chemist by training and an engineer by trade, once stood on the brink of an expedition that could have changed everything.
Wait, is this a story about an exploration that didn't happen?
He wasn't chasing myths. He was chasing data, uncharted, forbidden, elusive. The hypothesis that our Earth, long assumed to be a solid ball of molten rock, may conceal an inner world, a world within the world. It was 2006 when the plan came together. A Russian nuclear-powered icebreaker, specially rated to crush through the Arctic's thickest glacial walls, would carry a team of scientists, filmmakers, and skeptics toward the very edge of the known world. North, beyond where the maps blur into speculation. North, toward an opening no one could photograph. No satellite had confirmed, but legends insisted was there. They weren't the first to try. The ancient Tibetans, the Mongols, even early Japanese sages whispered about a realm beneath, a place untouched by surface history. And if the Arctic voyage succeeded, Brooks and his team would be the first in modern history to pierce that veil. But fate, or perhaps something more deliberate, intervened. Stephen Curry, the original leader of the expedition, fell gravely ill just as the mission neared readiness. A sudden...
That guy kind of looks AI.
Aggressive brain tumor claimed him before the ship left port. Leadership was passed unwillingly to Brooks. He had built engines, yes, managed teams, overseen complex systems. But this was something else. Still, he accepted, quietly, carefully. He moved the gears forward, setting a course for the summer of 2008. And then, the world changed. That winter, something strange happened. The Northwest Passage, frozen and impassable for centuries, cracked open. It wasn't just melting. The ice fractured under a relentless, warm wind that swept straight across the pole.
क्या आपने कभी सोचा है कि हमारे पैरों के नीचे
Oh, I don't speak that language. That doesn't help me.
They taught you that Earth is a solid sphere.
Oh no, they just got him talking just like a guy. Fenekagami says, these people have to believe that there's more to life than what's on Earth because ideologically they're cowards who find fighting for the world you want too hard, so would rather believe that world already exists somewhere or believe someone or something else is going to build it for them. Also, maybe searching NPC conspiracies could produce something given how people believe chemicals are being used to brainwash us. Yeah.
Layer upon layer
I know
of
there's an NPC video I've been saving for a while, too.
molten chaos and unfeeling stone, a hot core, a static shell.
Jesus.
Barren.
The whole video is just this fucking AI talking.
But beneath its
too.
frozen crust,
Terrible. Content has just gone down the fucking toilet. Is he one of my people? No, he's AI slop. Real reptilians are very offended.
Hidden complexes with the complex. In the quiet town of Ashton Valley, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, a forgotten story lay buried deep beneath the earth. It was a story of secrets, of men and machines, and of the daunting depths that
Everything's AI slop. Everything's AI slop. Generdy with 230 stream streaks says, from the worst, the core fan fiction to terrible AI, only on Hannah's stream. Also, I've got a job. Well, volunteering, but I've not had any kind of job since I broke a toe just before the pandemic, so it's a start. Oh, nice. Hydrate. Will do.
Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Maria. Please subscribe below so we
She was at the inauguration, I believe, with Trump, because she was a big donor, if I remember correctly. She's behind, like, a big MLM or something. She's got a lot of money.
can be YouTube friends. Today, I wanted to talk about non-playing
Yeah,
characters.
Scentbird.
A concept of NPCs that exists within this larger framework of the Matrix. What are NPCs if you haven't heard of them? Do I believe in them? Do I not? And what is my take on non-playing characters? Okay. If you have been following me for some time, I channel a lot about the Matrix. I do talk a lot.
I channel a lot about the Matrix. She was at the inauguration standing next to the fucking president. Ah! 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 Noises.
A lot about the fact that the nature of the world that we live in is virtual, which does not make
It's not
it unreal, which does not make it something worth.
We're 6 months away from the president nuking the whole planet just because this lady got in his ear and talked to him to prove the Matrix is real. You gotta nuke everything. We gotta reset the server.
Escaping from. In fact, our higher selves really want us to be incarnated right now. And they, quote unquote, paid a lot of money in energy currency in order to bring us here, in order.
Hold on. Okay, never mind. That wasn't easy to find. Let me look it up
To
elsewhere.
project forth and have this experience. In one of my past videos, I've also mentioned that there are a wealth of experiences, a wealth of games, so to say, available to us at soul level. So your soul is very deliberate when it chooses where you're going to incarnate, what dimension, what planet, what species, what you're going to experience, like from birth. Literally, it's a very controlled experience from point A to point Z. So what are non-playing characters? Within the larger concept of the Matrix, there are two types of characters that are believed to exist. The first one are players. And players are essentially souls, right, that have avatars. So you would have, like, in this case, a human vessel, right? And there would be a soul or a stream of the soul entering that human vessel. Or any other vessel for that matter. And that would be considered a player. That means that there's somebody on the other side playing the character. Non-playing characters are supposedly characters that are almost like filler, or that is how they usually are described. So
Genuinely horrifying. Like, do you understand the horrifying banality of an ultra-rich person with actual power describing other human beings as filler? Like, is anyone else realizing how not good this is, having people with power, with money, seeing other human beings as empty vessel filler that isn't even real?
So in order to make worlds, virtual worlds like planet Earth, real to players, the architect has come up with a concept of non-playing characters, which essentially is still consciousness. Everything is consciousness, but they are...
It's not. Consciousness is consciousness. Even consciousness, I would argue, is matter. Everything's matter. Everything's matter or energy.
All the people that you see around you that are not players would be non-playing characters, meaning they're part of the matrix. They're the energy comes from the matrix to power these characters, because everything needs to get their power from somewhere. But technically, there are no souls associated with them. So from,
Agebird says, forget being an NPC, I'm a UPC. Just send 5 of me to an address on the back of a Cheerios box and you get a prize. Ooh.
particular perspective, there are almost like a bunch of empty beings walking around, and the beings that belong to the matrix. And this is kind of like the larger theory behind non-playing characters. Now, what I have seen to be true is this. There is a vast library of worlds available for souls to pick from. Like I said, a vast library of experiences for souls to pick from. And there is not an unlimited amount of souls in our immediate strata or our immediate, shall we call it, hierarchy of light. And so there are potentially more experiences to be had than souls to be had. And so when the architect was creating this world alongside source consciousness, they knew that they had to make these worlds very immersive. And so because of that, right, immersive worlds need to have a lot of happening inside of them. So they created multiple rules that would enable the worlds to appear real to any soul that chooses to incarnate inside of the world. One such thing is the law of dynamism, for instance. So everything is dynamic and cyclical. Why were the cycles created, right? Such as, 24-hour cycle, just to give you some examples, right? Seasons, years, all of these are examples of cycles. Why were the cycles created? It's actually a lot easier and faster to program a cycle and just have it go on repeat than trying to create a...
Well, this is depressing. I need a flat earther or something. Why is my typing so bad? Is my brain okay? Jesus. Hey, unknown outcast, welcome. Hydrate will do. Well, oh, this is live.
All these things about like the globe and math.
He's definitely stupid, far from
But,
it.
but that's why I disagree with you, though. Yeah, but that's why I disagree with you. Yeah, the reason I do call him stupid is because he is.
That's the end result. But that's not.
I mean,
where
I've
it
seen him
started.
debate Roger as well, and Roger ripped him apart. I mean,
Oh, I know.
every time Wesley goes anywhere to debate, he gets ripped apart. The guy is literally just like I said. He is the epitome of Dunning-Kruger.
It's because he has too much.
Flat Earthers calling people Dunning-Kruger is something. Whenever they learn a new term, gotta start using it. Good news cleanse. Zoran Mamdani appears to pull ahead of Andrew Cuomo according to new poll. God, I hope so. I'm nervous about that one. Not gonna lie, chat. I'm real nervous about that one. Because holy shit. Really? We doing Cuomo again? Really? Really? Okay. Okay.
Imaginary sun. So, Jaren's words that the sun goes around, everybody knows the sun goes around 24 hours. No, people don't know that. They are taught that it goes because it's based on an imaginary sun. Now, on a ball Earth, that destroys the heliocentric model. You cannot have an Earth. You cannot have a ball Earth rotating where it rotates, let's say, 7 degrees an hour, and then the following degrees goes
I think it's 15 degrees an hour.
like 21 degrees per hour, back to 14, and then goes to 17. On the ball Earth, this is impossible. So that's why they consider an imaginary sun and divide the hours of the day. And actually, it's based on a yearly, 365. This is how they do it. Everything is explained on the video. Now, the flat Earth, with the fixed Earth, non-rotating flat Earth, the sun can do whatever it wants to do, like in the.
Our model's better because I find it simpler. That's a good argument. Let's look up channeling sessions. If I can spell it right. There we go. Groundhog Woodchuck Spirit Animal Guided Hypnosis session. What?
Hello, so it's time for some more soul empowering hypnosis, and today's date is June 22nd, 2025. It's my birthday. I'm very happy about it. I feel like there's a part of me that knows that this year for me,
Good to see you, Unknown Outcast. Later.
being 46 is going to be a big year. And the reason for that is that just like a few months into being 45, when I would think about my age, I'd be like, well, I'm almost 46. The last time I did something like that was a few years ago. And I remember thinking, man, something important, something big must be
Bring out the groundhog, you coward.
happening in October. You are about to investigate a new area. Communicate your boundaries. And as soon as Kelsey and I sat down, they were like, hey, beautiful. And then on top of that, notice a color.
There we go. Okay.
Deeper, the nourishing oxygen, the peaceful energy that flows in with each in breath.
Did that get you?
Beginning to really feel, really enjoy
that shedding, letting go, releasing energy with each breath. And also with each out breath, really enjoying the feeling of relaxing deeper and deeper with each protected.
Are you a groundhog yet?
Ready.
Are you a groundhog yet? 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 Green guy with the $3 tip says, Hannah, I've grown cucumbers. They taste wonderful and my tomatoes are ripe. I think I'll move my artichokes because I think they're getting burned and I'll put ginger there. Nice! Baja started growing a tomato plant. Its name is Todd-mato. Oh, this just goes on. Okay. Just nap time. Just nap time. Does this mean we get 6 more weeks of summer because the crackpot groundhog doesn't show up?
So whenever you're ready, go ahead and from your heart, give permission for them to send you loosening, letting go energy. We'll sit quietly for a couple of minutes, really take it in.
Fucking hell.
Enjoy. Moments.
Oh my god, it's just all dead air.
And there's the woodchuck. And
okay, now I gotta go back. Wait, what?
There's this, and as our final exercise for the evening, there's this really interesting combination of energies coming in where, of course, there's snake energy because of the shedding of the old layers, but it's very specifically cobra.
Tarantula's also molt. Could it be a tarantula energy if we're just doing molting?
Energy. And if you remember, cobra was the energy that had the goddess Isis very, very deeply interwoven into it. So it's like there's a cobra and there's Isis and there's the woodchuck and they're all standing in front of you. And I think together, collectively, the three of them want to share something very important with you.
Oh, this is the worst house meeting ever. What the fuck? What? Am I not doing my dishes?
So we're going to sit quietly for a few minutes, and those three as a team are going to be sharing something very important with you. Really, really enjoy.
H paired with a link says she keeps saying it. Cobra! 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 Hello? Ma'am? Did you forget to be entertaining? This orange has got no juice! Alright, I'll stop trying to squeeze.
Greetings from the two of us. I am Russ Hatfield, enjoying life with Kara, my twin soul and higher dimensional member of Ashtar Command, for another lesson from the Command. This latest one was channeled by Omal through Mark Crocker and is called What is Hades Base? Now, we had a new guest who had joined our channeling session for the first time, and Omal gave her a rundown on who he was and what the base was. He then goes on to explain how the base itself is in the 6th dimension, but held within a 5th dimensional workspace so that it can be miles across, but actually be no bigger than a garage.
TARDIS!
We see similar technology with Mary Poppins and the TARDIS of Doctor Who.
Oh!
The 5th dimension allows things to be bigger on the inside. You can follow our online transcript at the link below. Please subscribe if you want at the end of the video to be alerted to future channeling sessions, editorial
I want to point out that the face looks like Jambi the Genie a little bit.
from Kara and myself, and lessons from the Center for Ascension. And now, what is Hades Base?
Okay, let us open the floor for questions. As I note that you have a inflammation of the lower, I think it would be esophageal area. Yes. We will.
Who's Jambi the Genie? He's a character from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
If you wish, let both Skip and Russell there ask questions on your behalf if you are having difficulty. That would be fine. Or ask questions that you might wish to ask, but they think of first. Let us open the floor.
Okay. Real quickly, why don't you tell Lynn or Laura a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I have the somewhat dubious distinction of being the base commander in charge of this bunch of reprobates.
Do you know Zmoo?
The base that we work on is a 6-dimensional workspace that is encapsulated by a 5th-dimensional space. So in actual fact, we are broadcasting from...
What is Doctor Who? It's the longest-running sci-fi series in history. Started on the BBC. I like it. Not so much recently, but I like the show.
5th dimension.
It's my favorite show.
But within the 6. Hades Base itself is sequestered about 5 of your miles below the surface of the planet Mars in the 6th dimension, but within a 5th dimensional part of the space that inhabits. To explain in a way, you are in the 3rd dimension. The 4th dimension is time. The 5th dimension is space. But not the space that you would take.
What do you mean the 5th dimension? The first 3 dimensions are spatial. And, like, honestly, even when we describe time as the 4th dimension, it's not, like, literally the 4th dimension. Like, it's just a way that we've described it outside. There's a 4th spatial dimension as well as a 5th and higher. I think last time I heard it was, like, 11. I don't know. I don't keep up on fucking high-level physics. But anyway, that's not how any of this works.
As space. It is the space where an object appears somewhat different, and the laws of physics are somewhat different. The best way to describe the 5th dimension is, let us say you have a object in front of you.
He is simultaneously describing the 6th dimension as if it is an extra dimension of space, but also as if it's an alternate reality?
You wish to pick up. Now, in the 5th dimension, you would try to reach for it, and it may appear to be the same distance away as it was before you reached for it. You may stand up and try to reach for it, and again, it might be the same distance away as it was to start off with. But if you were to turn 180 degrees and walk away from the object, you may suddenly find yourself almost stepping on it and being able to pick it up. Another interesting part of the 5th dimension is the ability that sometimes...
Tesseract, the 4th dimension is not a tesseract. A tesseract is a 4th dimensional representation of a cube in the same way that, like, a cube in the 3rd dimension is to a square in the 2nd dimension. A tesseract is to a cube.
The laws of physics are suspended.
Alright. Enough from him, too. I only have time for, like, 1 or 2 more things. There's never enough time. I'm sorry that it's a shorter stream today. I wasn't planning on streaming at all, but I am sorry it's shorter today. Sorry.
Hi, it's Ileana here, and we have Dr. Amir with us. Hi, Amir.
Hello, Ileana. I hope you're really well. I want to extend my warmest greetings to our lovely audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're doing extremely well, that you're good, that you're happy and healthy. I hope you enjoy our conversation today.
We're going to discuss what channeling is, and then we're going to do an interesting channeling session with some of the aspects of galactic nature that I'm connected to that we discovered when Amir and I were working on healing sessions for my crystalline essence. And we found them to be interesting beings and very welcoming, so they're very positive. So Amir is going to be channeling aspects of me today, and we're going to ask 7 questions that both Amir and I have come up with and see what those aspects answer. So Amir, what is channeling? How does that work, and what are we doing today?
Channeling is allowing the conscious mind to relax and for the other aspects of consciousness which we have to use the physical body to communicate. So this may take a number of different forms. It could be...
And what's the difference between this and closing your eyes and making up a bunch of bullshit or just saying whatever comes to mind?
Through linguistics,
just
through
curious.
Speaking, it could be through writing, could be through movement or painting. Many forms you could probably call all types of light language, an expression of channeling. And then the source of the information may be the self. In this case, we're going to be communicating and channeling information from your higher self, your more elevated aspects, all connected to you in harmony. And so it may be another being, like an ascended master, an angelic being, or for that matter, any other conscious being. So it's like fine-tuning into the correct, energetically, I think there's an space, and then
James Earl Jones channeling sessions. Oh no. No, that's copyright. Goddamn shorts. Oh, that person's channeling what appears to be a dead child. That's great. Very respectful. Oh! Okay. I mean, sure, you can do that, I guess. That's a little too humpy for me.
Здравствуйте, дорогие. С вами коммуникация Сириус. Сирийцы, они вас приветствуют в этой коммуникации, позволяют вам услышать то, что мы для вас приготовили. Я так понимаю, у вас есть запрос. Запрос для Максима Фомичева. Этот запрос важен для
Okay, is
вас.
it just a language I don't understand? Because he, like, wrote in English.
И частично эта информация уже может доходить до вас. Вы могли ее уже слышать в своем уме и в своих снах.
It's auto-translate to English.
Данная коммуникация для вас будет особенно важна тогда, когда вы поверите в нее. Ваш запрос по поводу вашего здоровья, по поводу вашего благополучия и вашей жизни услышан. И мы готовы поделиться тем, что у нас для вас есть.
He's having them evaluate his health? That doesn't seem like a very good idea. Okay, unfortunately. I'm sorry so much of the early stuff was like me not finding stuff, but it was a random stream I wasn't supposed to do today anyway, so we got a little bonus. You got a little bonus of just silly stuff today, I guess. Sorry I gotta end early, but I gotta go pick up Baja from work. So I will see y'all Wednesday for Tinfoil Wednesday, unless I get out early tomorrow, in which case we'll do it tomorrow, but it'll probably be Wednesday. So, thanks for hanging out. Sorry I had to do a short thing today, but, good hanging out, if even for a little bit. Let's see who we're gonna raid. Oh, we haven't gotten a chance to raid Lumi in a while. Alright. Have a great night, everyone. I'll see you soon. People acting stupid. That's mostly what I look at. Alright, see you, everyone. Bye. Oh my god, that Cameron guy put out another fucking weird video. I'm worried about him. Anyway, alright, bye everyone.